Showbiz with Lee Drew on 97.7 FM.
22 and a half past 1, it's 27 degrees. My next guest of the program is a comedy writer. He's a director, actor, and regularly performs stand-up around Melbourne. He's part of the Melbourne Comedy Festival that's starting very, very soon on the 23rd of March, running till the 17th of April. He's joining me on the line to talk about his show, The Improvised Guide to the Internet. I think some of us might need this, not just the kids. And Ben's online now. Ben Russell, a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Lee. How are you?
Oh, well, nice to have you with us. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
You don't have much of an accent anymore, I noticed just then.
I know. No, not anymore.
It's becoming more Oz.
Yes, it is. I'm slowly acclimatising. It's only been...
How many years?
Nearly about 25 years living here.
Most of those years were in Perth, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I grew up in Perth.
Yeah.
Sort of came up and through the theatre and stand-up scene through there, and then headed off to Chicago. As you do.
Did you go to Whopper?
No, I didn't. No, but I would... I hung around those types a lot, though.
Yeah. You'd been there just after Hugh Jackman, I would have imagined, because Hugh went to Whopper.
Yeah, he did. Although I think it was a few years. I'm not that old.
You sound very, very young to me. So you've had a great career in such a short space of time, and you do so much in the way of comedy, in the way of writing, and so on. Tell us about how you got into this business.
Well, I guess that's fine. As I said, I kind of always wanted to be an actor. I was sort of involved in amateur theatre around Perth, and then I was doing a show. They got a wonderful independent theatre called the Blue Room there, and I was doing a show there, and a friend just said, "You should do stand-up. I've signed you up for 5 minutes at a local room that I would end up later down the track running and managing." But yeah, I just sort of did that and then fell into stand-up, and then after that I got into improv with the big hoo-ha over in Perth, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. I kind of was a comedian and comedic actor from then on.
Ben, how hard is it being a stand-up comic? I mean, to say, what have you got put in behind the scenes in producing something like this?
Well, I mean, just stand-up in general, you just have to do you do the old hustle and get the gigs and do the writing and do the work, and obviously be funny along the way. But I mean, with shows like this for the comedy festival, I try and do something a bit different. You can do stand-up all the time, so for the festival, I always try and mix it up a bit. And I've been doing the improvised Improvalicious for a while in different sort of forms. We started as high school. Oh no, we started as theatre, the history.
Yeah, the history of theatre. I noticed that.
Yeah. And then now we're doing the internet. So it's kind of just each one is just slightly different and just enough, but it's all sort of made up with this framework of a different theme each year.
Well, we should explain to the listeners what improvisation means. Of course, there's nothing scripted, is there?
That's right. Yeah. So we just make it up. I trained at Second City, Chicago, and IO for 3 years, and then worked on their house ensemble. So sort of learned the building blocks of improv and how to create a scene from nothing and then play and be funny within that scene.
I noticed you say in the media release I have that it's a 50-minute crash course in the tricks and traps of using Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube and so on. Then you go on to say, but not Facebook. Facebook is only for the old people.
Apparently, according to our director, no one uses Facebook anymore.
Oh, go away.
I don't know. It's hard to keep up. I don't know what they use. But
don't you use Facebook?
Not as much, I think.
Don't you?
I mean, Snapchat is very popular.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, and Instagram and stuff.
Everything. There's so much. It's a rabbit warren of things when you go into the internet, and there's just so many different things that you have that make you feel old.
Ben,
I didn't even know this existed until we started doing research into it.
Yeah, well, I'm probably 100 years older than you, so I do use Facebook, and I've connected with people I've known over the years. I've reconnected with them. I just think it's a wonderful thing to reconnect. But what you're doing here, you're aiming this for, 9 to 15-year-olds and their families, you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. But the beauty of it is that we have we make it fun for everyone involved. So there's something for the parents and for the kids. My girlfriend's grandmother, who's in her 90s, loves it. It's the only time she's seen me do comedy.
Isn't that
she comes
good?
to it every year.
Yeah.
And she just absolutely, it's amazing to see it. I'm in the good books with her because of this show.
You've got to be too. You've involved the Brunswick South Primary School, I believe, and the Princess Hill Secondary to help collaborate all of this. Is that right?
Yeah, well, Jeremy Rice, who's the director, one of his daughters goes there, and they've just been such a help. We usually do a couple of test shows with them and get the kids involved. So it's they're great. It's such a lovely school, that one.
So it's all been in rehearsal in that sense. You've got it fine-tuned. You know what to do. You're up there and going. Get on the stage and say, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, well, you figure it out.
Yeah.
It's mainly the transitions that we rehearse.
Yes.
Because it's obviously you can't really rehearse what you're just making up.
No,
so.
of course you can't. No.
But we've always got a little framework in our minds. I kind of, from my training and just experience, know where things have to go in terms of story and writing.
Yep.
And what sort of characters that you need and things like that. So we try and make it kind of an epic hero's journey through these stories that we have.
Ben, after the Comedy Festival, what next for you?
After the Comedy Festival, think so far ahead. Just same gigging. I've got a couple of projects with ABC that I'm hoping to work on, and
I saw a couple of those on YouTube, I think.
A couple of things on YouTube and different web series. And
looks very good.
Insert Coin and ABC are doing commissioning a bunch of pilots, which I'm involved in. So it's going to be a bunch of fun when that happens. So always got a couple of different projects on the go.
As an actor, you've got to have that, don't you? Because you've got to pay a mortgage and all sorts of things. You've got to be able to live and have a job that's going to supply something.
Yeah, mortgage, sure. I'm a comedian. Yeah, definitely a mortgage.
Definitely a mortgage. What advice would you give to my listeners today if they want to get on the internet?
On the internet?
Go on, improvise it.
I'm always a big thing on privacy, and also just be careful what you put out there, and make sure it doesn't hurt other people. I think that's the main kind of message that we give throughout the show, is that what you say on the internet has consequences and reactions and things like that. So
yes, I don't think enough people understand that, because once that's posted, it can be very hurtful. You could have said something that's quite left field, and you can't take that away, can you?
And also, no, you can't. And you can't. Tone or sarcasm doesn't come through very well on the internet. You can't. There's no emoji for sarcasm, and sometimes what you say, even if it's joking, can be hurtful to other people. So I, for one, have done it, and it's always a shock when you first do it. You're like, I didn't mean to. I'm very sorry. And it's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah, my word. Well, you're at the Powder Room at the Melbourne Town Hall on Saturday the 26th of March through to the 10th of April. So we're looking forward to that. 12:15 daily, except Mondays. It's only $20. It'll be a great show. Take the kids along and learn how to use the internet, but not Facebook unless you're over 50.
Well, we may touch on Facebook.
Good on you.
There might be something in there for you.
If I happen to sit in the audience, you'll see me. Ben, it's great to catch up, mate.
I'll get something in there for you.
Good on you, pal. Yeah, I wish you well for the season, and thank you for taking time to talk to us today.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye to you. There he is, Ben Russell, part of the Melbourne Comedy Festival.